Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing an 8-4 Dragons of Tarkir draft. We opened Corpse Swift, which I think I'm going to pick again. I really do like this card. The only thing I'm giving up for it really, well, Bloodshed Rage is pretty good. That's an awesome warrior card. And what else is good? I mean, Twin Bolt, Salt Road Ambushers. Nothing else too nasty in here. Actually, I'm pretty much just tempted to take the Corpse Swift because it's a rare. But it's once again, it's like a card that pretty much wants you to go down a blue-black exploit path pretty bad. So it boxes you into a corner a little bit, but then again, I guess Bloodshed Rager would too. Salt Road Ambushers doesn't necessarily box you into a corner, but it wants you to have, you know, morph and manifest and stuff. But let's take the Corpse Swift. I mean, I think there's huge upside to Corpse Swift in the mid to late game, of course. All right. I think I actually like Coat with Venom more than Defeat now, but let's look at like the strongest card in this pack. Honestly, there's nothing too nasty in here. Void Squall I haven't really played with too much, but it's certainly not a bad card. It's just I feel like this is better for a tempo deck, but that might not be true. Bounce the thing a couple times. It's kind of expensive and it's sorcery, which sucks a little bit, but bounce effect is pretty good. I don't necessarily want to go into a second color yet either. I think I'm going to take Coat with Venom. Defeat's been sadly kind of underwhelming for me. Doesn't seem like a very exciting second pick either. There's no like color indication of what I'm supposed to be in here. I mean, Scaleguard Sentinel is decent. Beastbreaker's pretty good. But I'm going to stay on color, and I think actually take the Coat with Venom. I'm telling you, the Defeat for some reason has been worse for me. All right, pretty good green picks rather in here. Press the Advantage, Beastbreaker, Tread Upon. I like the Mischief Kieran in white. Unfortunately, no good, real good blue picks. I'm fine taking Marsh Hulk here because I actually like the card, and it keeps me in black still until I want to see what's wheeling. You know what I mean? I want to. If I'm in black, I want to be in blue. So far, blue hasn't been too open, but it's only the third pick. Um, let's just take Marsh Hulk. Let's start to see what's tabling and what's coming around other than black. And until that time, I don't want to force myself into box myself into something. All right, there's a monument for a black-red dash, but this is not the best start to a black-red dash deck. Pretty good white pick in Jamoka Warrior, I guess, and Graceblade Artisan a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, there's still nothing that nasty in this pack. There is an Evolving Wilds, which would help for a splash, but I actually am a big Coat with Venom fan, so I'm just going to take it. One mana tricks are pretty awesome, especially ones that are usually kill spell like that. All right, there's a dragon in here that's pretty good. Otherwise, there's just some like sideboard. Actually, Ojutai's Breath's pretty decent, but once again, it's more of a tempo card, less of a blue-black card. Tomb Shells does not interest me. I'll probably just take the dragon. I'm okay with that. Maybe white's open. We have seen some good white picks already. So we've got not too much, to be honest. This is kind of lacking in good picks in general. Pinion Feast is probably playable. Could take the Icebreaker. I don't really like the Icebreaker, but it is a card, I guess, that interacts with Corpse Swift. Potentially. I mean, I probably don't want to discard a creature, but I guess if I have to and I have a Corpse Swift out, could be okay. Let's just take the Icebreaker, I guess. I mean, I don't care about anything else in here. Okay, some pretty decent late green picks. There's a couple blue picks in here, but They're not the best. There's also Duress. No real white picks I care about. Territorial Racks, like, only mediocre. I mean, Glade Watcher's fine. It does not necessarily mean green's open, though. I probably just want the Duress, I guess. I can main deck a Duress if I have to. Um, Man, I'm not getting a great indication of what the second color I'm supposed to be in is. I feel like we saw no exploit. And we saw a little bit of white, a little bit of green. Everything else kind of seems to be getting shut down. I don't really like the Nemesis or the Carp that much. Radiant Purge is like not a very good card. Could take the Storm Rider rig. It's playable, I guess. All right, second Icebreaker. Well, here's a Faithful. I don't like Icebreaker enough so to take it here. A couple good green picks. Let's take the Faithful. I mean, maybe I can get lucky and get blue picks on the during the second pack. Because like I said, I thought white was open a little bit, but that kind of dried up. There is some, like, Pinion Feast and Artillerist are actual, like, playable green spells, but so is Faithful. And I'd rather have Faithful than either of those in green. All right. Couple good blue picks here. There is a 2-drop Warrior here, which is also okay, but I may just want the Updraft Elemental. I know it's not a super exciting card, but it's probably better than Reduce in Stature. Reduce in Stature is not that good, and if I'm in black, I feel like I'm going to get better removal. Let's take the Elemental. Elemental is at least a good blocker if I do end up blue-black, I'm going to want some good ways to buy time into the late game. And actually, Updraft Elemental works pretty well with Coat with Venom, getting up to 6 toughness. How playable is Mystic Meditation? I guess it's playable with Corpse Weft, isn't it? Let's take the Meditation then. Oh, well, we get another one immediately. I don't care about any of these cards. I don't think I'm playing multiple Meditations, but whatever. Custodian, certainly playable. Not great, though. And Vandalize, I guess. Whatever. I don't care. Okay. So, not an absolute disaster, pack 1, but not so great for us. We were kind of trying to feel around because we wanted to be black, but ooh. Let me open Dragonlord Jamoka. Jesus. Is that worth something? It's a mythic. It's worth close to 2 tickets. I mean, obviously the most powerful card in here. How much do I want to go into green and white right now? Not too much, I got to be honest. Especially since I did not pick up that Evolving Wilds. Otherwise, I can take a Deathwind or a Vulturous Haven for that matter. But I'd probably rather have the removal. Oh, Jesus. Do I take a Dragonlord? I mean, that's a big old finisher. That's... I feel like that's going to be tough to just suddenly go into 2 colors I haven't picked yet. I'll take the Deathwind. I'm not happy about that, but... Ooh, all right. Well, got a great pass here. Okay. This thing kills things and as evasion, so I like it. Gonna slam that. That's an actual good pickup for us. So pretty happily taking that. Otherwise, Pal's Familiar would be great as a little exploit target, of course. But yes, Assassin is going to be better for us. Maybe we'll get lucky and pick up some Familiars or Youthful Scholars this pack. Justify the blue-black build I want to do. But for now, we'll definitely take that Assassin. Okay. Spellfist is fine. Acid Spear of Dragon might be better. It's not great, but it's fine. Decent red cards and Efreet and Dragon Fodder, but not well geared to be a blue or a black-red dash deck. Might just be the Interceptor, actually. I probably like Interceptor more than Acid Spear Dragon. It's got evasion. There's Elusive Spellfist, but it's pretty good at double coat with Venom defensively. It's decent with Storm Rider Rig. And guess whatever. I think at this point I don't want to be in the white. I would like to make the blue-black work. I mean, Interceptor is, I feel like, better than Acid Spear Dragon, but Elusive Spellfist rather isn't bad either, but we'll take the Interceptor. I feel like we actually need ways to win the game here. All right, Hand of Silumgar is a great pickup. Early Death Toucher. Pretty good Storm Rider Rig, too. It gives us some early plays. I guess a little bit of redundancy with Coat with Venom, but I'm not going to complain about a 2-drop, 2-power Death Toucher. That's pretty awesome. Butcher's Glee is nice. Sight Beyond Sight is playable. Let's take the Silumgar. Okay, well, we're getting some pretty decent blue picks here, and that makes me happy. So now I can do, well, Deceiver, I guess. How many do we have so far? We only have 3, which is not enough. I can just take the Interceptor number 2. I'm okay with that. Skies. I probably don't need a second Faithful. I could take the Spellfist, which is a fine card. I feel like Interceptor's probably better, though. Because flying. And actually, Custodian becomes a lot more playable if I pick up these nice Megamorphers, these flyers. I feel like Custodian becomes more playable in our deck. I don't want you to think I'm getting excited about playing Custodian, because I'm not, but it might be something we can do here. Okay, I actually think Anticipate is a very good card. I've been really impressed whenever my opponent plays it against me, so I kind of want to take it. Like I said, Defeat is okay. I think Anticipate's actually better. I don't know. Defeat's not terrible. I don't want you to think that. It's just, it's been pretty mediocre overall for me. And I probably like the Anticipate more than the third Interceptor. I wouldn't mind a third Interceptor, but I want to play Anticipate. I haven't gotten a chance to really, and I do actually think it's a pretty legitimate card. All right. Now there's probably just Gadul Lurker, which is another evasive sort of attacker. And he can block, and he can't be blocked, which is kind of nice. So I like him. Let's take him over Negate, and certainly over Karsi Sadist. All right, well, we're getting some blue picks this way at least. Ooh, double Palace Familiar. All right, well, that's certainly a nice pickup. We'll take the foily one. Minister of Pain is something we can do. I like it. Let's take the Minister here. Okay. I haven't played the River Skeleton yet, but it seems like the correct pick here. Regenerates pretty cheaply. Not a terribly exciting card, but certainly not bad. All right, I guess with all these Megamorphers, I feel like we can actually take a Contradict because we're going to leave mana open. I feel like a lot of times we're going to be leaving mana open to, either flip a dude or counter a spell. Let's just say I'm not married to playing this Contradict, but I'm not opposed to it either. All right, I guess we'll take a Nemesis now. Now that I know that Nemesis can actually attack once after learning that in a game. I mean, whatever, we'll cut the black card, but Grave Purge is actually playable, I would say, in an exploit deck especially, but it doesn't pair well with Corpse Weft, so I don't think that's ultimately what we're looking for here. So far, not bad. We'll see what we can get out of this Fate Reforged pack. Probably just take the Douse and Gloom, get some good removal. Sibsig Host actually does pair well with Corpse Weft, so I'm not opposed to playing it. I'm pretty confident it wheels. But Douse and Gloom we'll take here over the Whisk Away. Whisk Away is more... Whisk Away is okay, but I'd rather have the Douse and Gloom. I like the life gain and the kill spell together. This doesn't really look like a Storm Rider rig deck that much, but I guess we do have a lot of 3-drops, so going Rig into any of our morphs is not bad. Maybe that is a thing. I don't know. I don't like the icebreakers in this deck. I just don't like the icebreakers in general, especially when we've got all these morph at 3 anyway. I'd rather just play the Custodian, even though it enters tapped. Maybe I wouldn't rather play the Custodian. Let's just take Douse here. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So we can take Douse number 2. There's another Sig host in here. There is an Ugin's Construct, which is pretty interesting because we could sacrifice a Palace Familiar and draw a card, which isn't that bad. Or we could not sacrifice one of our mini 3-drop Megamorphs. This might actually be an Ugin's Construct deck, but I may want to wait for that on the wheel too because there's another Douse and Gloom, which I think I like more. And I know what you're thinking. It's like, but wait, I thought you didn't like Defeat. I think Douse and Gloom is vastly superior to Defeat. I'll tell you that much. Instant speed, being able to finish things off with, 3 power or more. All they need is, 2 toughness or less or to take enough damage. I don't know. Douse is better, certainly. Maybe I don't need this Mystic Meditation. I don't know. I'm going to just take Douse for now. I'll figure it out later. Okay. Hooded Assassin, not terribly exciting. There's a Scoured Barons for like a Shield-Hide Dragon Splash, but that's not exciting either. Could take the Skull Keeper, which feeds Corpse Weft and gives us a 2-drop. Hooded Assassin just like finishes things off, but it's not that exciting. Guess I'm not opposed to taking a Skull Keeper here. Less excited about that Custodian. Entering tapped really does kind of defeat the purpose of having a 2/5 defender, in my opinion, which really does make that card kind of bad. I usually prefer to sideboard Duress anyway. Yeah, I guess I can take a Skull Keeper here. Not that exciting. Geez. Dragon Claw. Do I splash for that and then use its ability? Maybe. Am I just straight up missing a pick here? I guess so. Guess I'll just take a Wicked Mythic or a rare then. It's a pretty splashable card, but I don't know if I'm prepared to do that. I guess Vanguard's a beater. Hooded Assassin is something. None of this is really all that good, to be honest. Could take the Enhanced Awareness. Another card draw. Certainly a better card draw than Mystic Meditation. Being instant speed and all. I mean, I kind of need some more creatures. I do have that Icebreaker still if I need to play it. Let's take the Enhanced Awareness. Not really a Will to Naga deck. Maybe I need this Pilgrim as like an actual finisher. Reality Shift does not excite me. This does not really look like a Will of the Naga deck. We do have a Skull Keeper for it, but it's not really what I'm looking for. Fearsome Awakening, not really either. I'm basically taking a Pilgrim so I have something fat in this deck. Otherwise, I just have like a Marsh Hulk. Yeah, I guess. Man. All right. Not that exciting of a pick. All right, Skull Keeper number 2 is probably fine. Something to do early. I'll play Scroll to Masters. I like that card more than most people do, but let's just get some amount of early game going, and we'll try and figure out how we're going to make this deck work. All these cards off color, all these cards pretty mediocre. Maybe like Crew Shock's the best of them. I don't know. All right, did table a host. So I can take that for Corpse Weft synergies, possibly. What's my removal? Double Coat with Venom. Kind of Minister, Double Douse and Gloom, Deathwind. That's not the best removal suite, but whatever. We'll take the host, I guess. Host number 2. Rune Mark doesn't really fit. Warflare's got, if someone's in red-white, they're going to be happy campers. Do I need a second Sibsig host? Like I said, it does synergize well with Corpse Weft. It also feeds your opponent's Delve. I probably don't. I'm just going to hate a Warflare. I don't want to play against that. Shadow Spears is not a deck for it. I just hate the 2-drop aggressive card. Not likely to want a Sultai Rune Mark, really. I mean, we have enough ways to win with this deck. It's just not all that good. Let's hate the Battle Rage. That card can be pretty annoying. Collateral damage is the most playable. Hate the F-free. I mean, maybe red was open. I have no idea what was open that draft. I really don't. It seems like green was out of pack 3, and it seemed like blue was okay out of pack 2, and it seemed like white and green a little bit out of pack 1. But, I mean, I had a chance to swap at the beginning of pack 2 from that mythic. I could have swapped into green-white. I really dislike that idea. Completely just basically negating my first 12 picks of the draft. It just seemed like a really dangerous idea. So I have enough creatures. Stormrider Rig's much more of an aggressive card. Although I mean, I was correct in saying it's at least good with a bunch of morph and stuff, but I think we've got enough 2-drops to be able to manage that just fine. I mean, it's not like this is the worst deck I've ever drafted. It's fine. It's just not that great. Let's cut the Mystic Meditation. I'd rather play Enhanced Awareness. I still think Contradict is actually potentially playable in this deck because of all the morphs. You can either leave the mana up to morph or counter a spell. I actually kind of like that. And it like pairs well with like Deathwind or something. If you have both in your hand and 5 mana, you can be like, okay, is it something I want to counter or is it something I can just kill? Which is fine too. I'm basically playing Sibsig Host because it pairs well with Corpse Weft. That's probably not a good enough reason, especially if I have double Skullkeeper. So we can cut that. I'd rather play the Pilgrim of the Fires. At least it's like some way to kill my opponent. Overall, this is still a pretty underwhelming deck. I have to make one more cut. Maybe I separate spells. Oh, separate out. Okay. So what is the last cut? I guess if we put these in their hard cast slot, it gives me a slightly better idea of like how we can curve out. Oh, Nemesis is pretty unexciting. I'd probably cut the Nemesis, to be honest. It's not an awful card, but it's certainly not a great card either. Okay, that's probably just straight up the last cut. Is there anything I would rather main deck Duress over? Probably not. I could do Duress over Contradict, but like I said, I actually think this is a Contradict deck. So how do we win? We win with Marsh Hulk, Pilgrim, Evasion in Double Interceptor, Assassin, Lurker. Updraft Elemental is just a blocker. All right. Well, I've certainly drafted better. Certainly drafted worse. At least we have like a reasonable creature count in this deck. 14 is acceptable. Not the best coat with Venoms I've ever seen, I will be honest. But they're at least pretty good with morphs. Having 3/4 Death Touch is pretty good in combat. Early at least. Um, yeah, I don't know what to say. I think this is an acceptable build, but I guess I could have had a green-white dragon with a Yasova Dragon Claw. That's weird to me though, because green did not seem super open in pack 2. Or like, I mean, it was kind of open in pack 1. It wasn't like sickeningly open in pack 1. I think what happened was it was open in pack 1 and then just not much green was opened, which is probably why it was open. Why the color was open, I mean. And not much was opened in the packs. And then in pack 3, in pack 2, it could have completely swapped colors, I guess. And then in pack 3, ended up with a Dragon Claw. Yeah, I mean, that would have been okay too. Possibly better than this deck. Overall, I gotta rate this deck pretty low. I probably rate it about 6 out of 10. We're in blue-black. We don't have much in the exploit department. We do have some good evasion, which gives this deck at least a way to win, because we've got flyers as well as, like, you know, can't be blocked guys. And we have a couple finishers in Marsh Hulk and Pilgrim of the Fires. And Corpse Weft is actually a great late game card too. So there is ways to win with this deck, but overall, yeah, I gotta say it's pretty bad. Pretty bad deck. So 6 out of 10 is gonna be my final verdict on this. Sort by color. Oh, pretty dead split. Okay. No fixing, but that doesn't matter. They want to go 9 blue, 8 black. Is that what I want to do? I guess so. My early, well, we're pretty even on early blue and black. I need double blue. Well, it's pretty dead split. Let me look at the thing again. All right. Yeah. Okay. I guess most of our early blue plays are in fact, or most of our early plays are in fact blue. And even though these are 2-drop blacks, we most likely want to morph them instead. Yeah. Wow. 6 out of 10, folks. I've certainly drafted better than this, so I don't know. You don't always end up with the deck that you want, and you don't always open the on-color rares. So, yeah, a little bit unhappy with the final sort of product of this deck, but I think this is how we're going to run it. So, we'll see how we do. We'll see you round 1.